how we live our lives in this part of the world is not really good enough. Government want to do something for you, they put you under stress. But they don't go through such stress when they want to put things that right for themselves. They will say, okay, you want us to do road for you, right? No problem, we'll do it. But you guys will die of stress. I mean, it's too much. How can you spend less than 2 hours to get from Lagos to Ibadan, and you spend over 2 hours within, just navigating within Ibadan alone? I'm talking between Soka. You're coming to Iwo Road is a problem. Getting to Iwo Road again, you want to come towards Ojo is another problem. Why do we live this way? I mean, it's not supposed to be like this. In other countries, other climes, when things are better, they don't stress the citizens before they make things happen for them like this. No, it's not supposed to be this way. We are not supposed to be living this way. We want to do something for the people. You don't need to kill them before they know you are doing something for them. This is not good at all. It's not the way we should be living. It's not the right way to live. Thank you for joining me. Once again, apologies for coming a little bit behind schedule. It was due to the road repairs along the Soka Academy Road, where everything is now stressful. I mean, I pity people who live around that area and will have to come through this area every time. It's quite unfortunate, highly unfortunate. So welcome to Politics on Melody. How are you doing? I want to believe you're good. I'm good to be here again with you, and I'm glad. Yeah, Politics on Melody, POM, is a program where we politically speak. The only thing we know here is to speak politically. Nothing has come close, and nothing has come as important to us. It is all about politics. My name is Pretty Adegoke. You call me the finest, and it's good to be here again. Big ups to Daniel Adeyemi holding things down here and making sure everything's going well. Okay, Marcos M. Black, Fortune, making things happen on the streaming portal. Amos 33. And Moses taking care of business at the engineering unit. On behalf of these people, I say welcome to Politics on Melody, Melody 100.7 FM. Today on the show, as always, it promises to be another exciting time. We will be looking at situation of politics in Nigeria, especially as it concerns the ADC. It's just about a week that the party was adopted as a coalition party. But right now I can tell you the party is fragmented. There's trouble everywhere. There's problem because members are speaking with different voices now. And today Mr. Peter Obi is also speaking. Mr. Peter Obi is talking about his 2027 ambition, and he's saying this time nobody can tell me to be a presidential candidate. I must run as the president. It is not about vice presidential slot now. I am more interested about the presidential candidacy. Plus other beautiful things we'll be looking at. Now, there's a question here. Amongst our politicians, do we even have any politician in Nigeria that we can call reliable and trustworthy? Do we have? Some people are saying no, we have them plenty. Some are saying no, we don't. You get to hear the answer. From who today? You get to know very shortly. So, it is loaded as always, so let's begin to roll. And let's start this way. Bringing you latest political update stories. All right, talking about latest political update stories. In just a few days after he resigned as the national chairman of the APC, former governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has been appointed as the chairman of the board of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The announcement was made during the formal inauguration of a newly appointed FAN members a while ago in Abuja. The Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okwebolo, and his challenger, Mr. Asue Godalu, will tomorrow know their fates. Our Supreme Court is now set to deliver a final judgment in the legal battle on the gubernatorial election in that state. The decision of the Apex Court, when handed down, will put an end to the chains of court cases that has followed the legality or otherwise of the election. Sources at the Supreme Court have confirmed to us just a few moments ago that the judgment of the 5-man panel of justices who heard the case will be made public tomorrow, July 10. Governor Okwebolo and the APC were declared winners of the election by INEC last year, but not satisfied with the declaration. The Godalo and the PDP challenged the election both at the Election Petition Tribunal and the Court of Appeal and lost, prompting for them to move to the Supreme Court. A 5-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Mohammed Garba Lawal, which adjudicated over the matter, had at the last hearing announced that the judgment delivery date will be communicated to counsel representing both parties in the appeal seeking to remove Ighodalo as governor of Edo State. So tomorrow is a big day in Edo State, and I'm sure they are all getting ready of what will be happening in Edo State tomorrow. Moving away from there, let's quickly tell you that in what observers are calling a major milestone for gender inclusion in Nigerian politics, Lagos State is witnessing a historic surge in female participation ahead of this Saturday's local government election. Women from across the 20 local government areas and 37 LCDAs are contesting for both both councillorship and chairmanship positions, an unprecedented development in the state's political landscape, by extension, Nigeria's political landscape. Candidates include professionals, youth bodies, youth leaders, entrepreneurs, as well as grassroots mobilizers, and many of whom are running on platforms of inclusive governance, transparency, and community-driven development. Now, according to the chairman of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASIEC, Justice Bola Ukikiolu Igile, retired, the commission encouraged participatory moves by waiving fees from women, youth, and of course the persons living with disabilities, and that is why you had women representation. In the meantime, police authorities in Lagos have announced restrictions on movement in the state for the elections. The Lagos State Commander said that the movement restriction will begin in the early hours of the election day, talking about on Saturday. In a statement, the command said the total restriction of vehicular movement throughout Lagos State will be from 3 a.m. on Saturday until 3 p.m. on the same Saturday. The restriction of vehicular movement will apply to all roads and waterways within Lagos State jurisdiction, according to the police command in Lagos State. All right, still taking stories making the round in politics at this time. The senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has explained her decision to share her planned resumption to the Senate for legislative actions today. You know, she was supposed to, yesterday, Tuesday. According to her, she had she did so based on what she called legal advice. Yeah, she had to do that based on what she called legal advice and respect for procedures following a court ruling nullifying her suspension. And she also announced her intention to await the certified true copy of the judgment before making the next move. So what will be your next move, Natasha? She said she will wait for the CTC, talking about what we call the true certified true copy of the judgment before she will, because people thought she was going to make good of her threat yesterday to get straight into the legislative house. So people were wondering where was Natasha when they didn't see her eventually. But she had so many things to say on why she did that, which I've told you. She said she had to wait for the true copy of the judgment. But for other things she would do, this is what she said concerning why she didn't return yesterday and what she will do next. Okay, let's take it. Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan.
This will be born in the minds of the judges. I do have hope that our judiciary is being fair to a large extent now.
Anyway, of course, definitely, it's entertaining and it's LOL's lessons of life, I would say. Now, they said the CTC you've not seen and jumped to conclusion that you're supposed to resume plenary session tomorrow.
Why don't we pass on that? As a matter of fact, we expect to have this CTC today, but that also will determine our next step in action. The statement I made that day of on Tuesday was right immediately after the pronouncement of the court.
Fellow Nigerians, it's with the greatest amusement that I watch the fellow Nigerians
work on Tuesday. But that being said, like I said, we anticipate the judgment, the written judgment, the certified true copy, and that will determine the next step. But I'm very positive. But again, like I said, irrespective of me being under suspension, it never hindered me from working. I worked every day. I followed up on a lot of projects every day. I still spoke to ministers. I still followed up with agencies on many projects, so my people will not lose out of the 2025 budget. And that's what you've been saying. Just last week, this school we went to, the Ablas Zata Memorial College, we lit the entire premises with the solar street lights. Yesterday, you saw us have the groundbreaking ceremony for 2 smart markets in 2 local governments, 80 shops in each, with abattoir and other interesting facilities that ordinary markets should have, like water, toilets, electricity, and plugs in each shops. Again, the bigger part of today was when we visited the same school at Ablas Zata Memorial College, a public secondary school, one of the first in the country, to distribute 700 laptops.
So you heard her there. Even when she was suspended, she's been working. She's not been idle. She's been doing her thing, keeping the game tight, as I've always said. Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan there. Okay, let's get into it now. Let's get into it. Former National Publicity Secretary of the defunct New People's Democratic Party, PDP, they call them then NPDP, Chief Eze Chukwuemeka Eze, has slammed a chieftain of the PDP, Chief Bode George, for insinuating that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar cannot serve 2 masters at the same time in PDP and the ADC. Eze also tackled opinions that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar had dumped the PDP. Bode George, a former National Deputy Chairman of the PDP, had described Atiku and several other party chieftains who moved to the opposition coalition, claiming the former VP cannot serve 2 masters at the same time, meaning you can't be here, you can't be there, you can't be in the PDP and be in the ADC at the same time. And that's what Chief Bode George was saying in that statement. In the meantime, talking about the coalition and the party ADC, troubles in the party now, here and there. And talking about the troubles, the interim national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Senator David Mark, has assured Nigerians that under his leadership, the party will be absolutely independent, transparent, of course, emphasizing that the coalition party has no favorite presidential aspirant, but has set out to first put out a platform that will be attractive and acceptable to majority of Nigerians. The former Senate president stated that all the members of the party were equal stakeholders, equal joiners, and of course equal owners, urging members to put their differences aside and work as a team, adding that they must bond together to build the party before talking about ambitions. I want to be president, I want to be this, I want to be that. First thing, you must build the party first. In the meantime, troubles could be brewing in the new coalition as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has strongly rejected mounting calls from political leaders and stakeholders in southern Nigeria, urging him to step aside in favor of a southern presidential candidate. The demand, which has gained traction among members of the coalition, is anchored on the principle of equity, justice, and rotation of power, with many arguing that the South deserves to complete the term of the presidency. Talking about the President Tinubu-led administration is only going to be 4 years in 2027. So another South, even if Tinubu will not win, it should be from another South, not going to the North, because Buhari completed 8 years of the North. In a statement made after a closed-door meeting with leaders of ADC, however, the former Vice President Atiku declared that he would not bow to pressure and called on the coalition to uphold democracy by allowing open and transparent primaries. However, the declaration of Atiku Abubakar appears now to have started big trouble in the ADC, because it has begun to rattle the fragile coalition, which has now triggered a fierce backlash from members of the Obedient movement, who insist that Peter Obi remains the only credible and acceptable candidate. Across social media platforms, Obedient have declared that it is either Peter Obi or nothing, that nobody could come near them if it is not Peter Obi. In fact, they have threatened to pull out of the coalition if Atiku insists on contesting. So what began as a strategic alliance against ruling party now forces strenuous cracks, with many insiders warning that the coalition may just collapse before it even starts in the first place. While Atiku's camp argues for merit-based contest, Obedient accuse him of attempting to hijack the party structure again, the way he did with the PDP that has now destroyed the PDP. So political watchers say the coalition is on the brink. Yes, it's on the brink, as both sides refuse to shift ground. And this, if not quickly addressed, the friction may actually derail efforts of having a party that will stand as opposition against the APC in 2027. And talking about cracks in the ADC, a former presidential candidate of the party in the 2023 presidential election, Dumebi Kachiku, says if all the coalition and plans are going on among the politicians in his party will never see the light of day, calling the recent defectors to his party as what? What did he call them? He called them bunch of jokers. Bunch of jokers. Dumebi Kachiku said he heard everything that happened. He's just laughing at them, because when he's ready, they will know that they actually were the founding members of the party. Here is Dumebi Kachiku right here.
Greatest amusement that I watch fellow Nigerians. It's with the greatest amusement that I watched the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar-led group announce their takeover of the national leadership of the African Democratic Congress. As is expected, I have been inundated with a lot of calls and messages seeking my reaction to the unfolding dramedy. The facts of the matter are as follows. The Atiku-led group are in some form of alliance with the former leadership of the party led by Ralph Nwosu. The tenure of the Nwosu-led executive lapsed on August 21st, 2022, and his continued parade of himself as the chairman of the party was and is the subject of various litigations in different courts across the country. From the foregoing, I want to then pose the following questions. Can you build something on nothing? Can you shave a man's hair in his absence? Can you enter a man's house through the back door and declare yourself the landlord? These yesterday's men who represent a bad chapter in Nigeria's past have bought bad markets from a man who represents a bad chapter in ADC's past. Nigerians have watched in amazement as this group of mostly geriatrics shopped around for a party to prosecute their chopping must continue ambition. This further cements the opinion most hold that political parties in Nigeria stand for nothing and
strategy. If my own strategy this time around, is that I am going to support a northerner, and he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027. Really? Yes. And he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If
religion and thriving in mediocrity. We are a nation lacking in the basics whose majority are poor. But here we are watching those who set our nation on fire, saying they are the fire brigade. No, you're not. You are a bunch of greedy and selfish old men who believe that political power is your birthright. You stand for nothing other than your interest and will pay any price to hold political office. Nigerians are tired of your generation and reject everything you have to offer, which is nothing. Nigerians yearn for new names, new faces, fresh ideas, and progressive ideals. We yearn for a new Nigeria that thrives on meritocracy and de-emphasizes tribe and religion. We dream of a nation that works for all Nigerians, irrespective of region or religion. We want a nation whose laws and opportunities are equal to all men. We desire inclusiveness for all and social protections for the weak amongst us. Nigerians have never asked for much other than a leadership that truly cares. You have failed us and stand rejected by us. If you seek to be a part of the ADC, do the proper thing and come through the front door. We are a party of decent and well-behaved people. Our brand of opposition is one that not only opposes but proposes, something your group is not conversant with. I strongly suspect that you will be shopping for another party very soon, and as you do that, we, the members of the African Democratic Congress, wish you bon voyage.
You heard it right there. A full statement coming from Dumebi Kachiku, presidential candidate of the ADC in the last election. A statement to Atiku Abubakar-led members who are forming coalition in the ADC now. You heard everything he said. That is something happening in the ADC. I'm still talking about the ADC. A former spokesman, presidential campaign spokesperson of the Labour Party in the last election, 2023, talking about Kenneth Okonkwo, a lawyer and former Nollywood actor, has stated that, look, all these things they are saying about South, contesting against South in 2027 is not, he doesn't subscribe to that. That look, if we want to face reality, the South cannot really do anything this time against Bola Tinubu. That the only zone that can defeat Tinubu in 2027 is a candidate from the north, a very strong candidate from the north, and he says he is proposing a northern candidate.
Would that be a fair
That's the only thing he wants to talk about now. That is his own strategy and nothing more, nothing less. Let's listen to Kenneth Okonkwo now.
And he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be my condition to the northerners. It must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an article.
If the whole north is willing to support an article, why not?
Or a Tambuwal.
If the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you.
But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari,
Good.
a 4 years, if the case is the way you have put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in a rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking? Would that be a fair game?
Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify. The term of the president is 4 years, not 8 years. According to Alex Ekweme, what they agreed initially is that this post will be rotated amongst the geopolitical zones for 4-year term. And it will, in 24 years, it will have completed. But when Obasanjo came in, that was why Ekweme contested for 20.
You heard it right there, Kenneth Okonkwo there. Yeah, kudos to my man, Shin Wakimbaloye there. I had to seek his permission to use that. That was the interview Shin had with the man known as Kenneth Okonkwo. It's still politics on Melody. Let's have a short breather. Let's have a breather. When I return, we'll definitely be going to the conversation. Peter Obi is talking, says he's only presidential candidate that he wants to be in 2027. Nothing else, nothing more. Presidential candidate, that's where he wants to be. I'll be back after this.
So we have all agreed to work in coalition for 2027 election.
Conqueror, the title of that song. The question is, when shall we conquer as Nigerians? Because every time it seems we are just moving in circles, so only the politician seems to be enjoying the nation. What is the situation with the people who own Nigeria? Who are the people who own Nigeria? The masses are supposed to be the ones who own Nigeria. But the way it is in Nigeria, it's like the politicians are the ones that own Nigeria. When shall we conquer That's the title of that one, Conqueror. Oritz Wiliki right there. All right, let's get back into it. Peter Obi has talked about their plans. You know, he talked before Atiku made a statement he made yesterday that he's not going to allow anyone to take him off. He must contest. Peter Obi said they've come together and what they want to do is to rescue Nigeria from the APC, the bad ruling, the bad governance of the APC. And he says what he is planning to do is to contest the presidency in 2027.
Today, I'm a Labour Party member and I remain in Labour Party.
So he's starting by talking about people have said he's doing anti-party activity after moving in Labour Party. He's in Labour Party now, he's in the ADC, and he's addressing the issue that there's nothing like anti-party activity in this one. Listen to him first before we go to being wanting to contest for the presidency in 2027.
Today, I'm a Labour Party member and I remain in Labour Party. But we have all agreed to work in coalition for 2027 election. And for that, we've just adopted ADC. Going on, other parties, other individuals are going to still come in. But it's just like an unveiling like you used it before, an adoption which will still go into bringing other people together under the same umbrella and saying, we want better governance for this country. We want to see more competent government with the capacity and character to do the right thing. Where we are, the coalition, this coalition might have other parties that will come together, like it's happened in the past, and change the name of the party, anything. But right now, we've adopted one party. The other ones are going to come in. So we can't say whether we're going to leave this or we're going to come into this. What is constant mind that we've all agreed to work together. There's a difference in between intention and innocence. I said I'm a member of this, and I'm going to work with this group. So it's like, oh, well, I want to invest in this company, where they say, oh, you cannot be in two companies at the same time. But I have indicated my intention. I want to go into this. It's not 90%. Remember, we said for 2027. We're not in 2027, we're in 2025. It's clear. We've adopted this for 2027. So if I say I'm going to this, that doesn't say, oh, well, listen, I want to be sharing, I want to be able to be part of your dinner in the evening. That doesn't mean I should abandon my breakfast and lunch because I intended to come and eat your dinner. No, we're going there. We're going to go together. We are not abandoning where we are. At some stage, when that happens, you know.
Okay, that's what he's saying. At some stage when that happens, you will know. So it's not about anti-party activity. It's about coming together to wrest Nigeria from the APC. And now, there has been this questions been put to Peter Obi several times that, look, you have idea. People believe in your idea. Why not share your idea with the current president so that Nigeria can be better? Are you quarreling with the president? Are you fighting with the president? He said, no, I don't have any fight with the president. This is what he said.
And the president is not fighting. I'm not fighting anybody. My fight is against bad governance, against hunger, against poverty, against out-of-school children, against people not having health services. This country have less than 10% insurance care, health insurance. Should be 100%. These teachers teaching here should be paid by government because it's universal basic education. The law says here that our children should go to school free. So what my Lord is doing is helping government. Government should help him. That's what I did in Anambra State. I'm in coalition against hunger, in coalition against poverty, in coalition against good health. Politics for me is not about position. It is about doing the right thing. Whatever you make of it, I can tell you, I, Peter, have told you where I stand. I just came back this morning. I didn't go talk about politics. I'm talking about the education of these children. You don't deal with politicians. In this country, we talk about politics and abandon what we should be talking about. What we should be talking about is how are we going to educate these children.
All right, Peter Obi there, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the year 2023, now aspiring to be the presidential candidate of the ADC in 2027. Now the question has been, who amongst these politicians that can be termed as trustworthy, that can be termed as reliable? When they say it, they do it. Who amongst them? Femi Kuti says no one among the politicians in Nigeria that is trustworthy. They are all the same thing. That's what Femi Kuti, the son of Fela Kuti, is saying.
Where my objective right now, my music, my life, and I cannot compromise my political views. My political views is very simple. Where we are as a nation today is every single one of these politicians have put us where we are. No exemption whatsoever. PDP, see, they all jump about from one party and grasshoppers. We don't even know who's who anymore. Today they are in PDP, then they are in this, then they are in Labour, then they are, you see, they're all dishonest. And the objective in 1999, let's remember, what did they go and fight for? They went to fight for housing allowance, power allowance. You entered power when you knew that this country was already, the people of the country were suffering in 1999. People had great expectations from this democracy that, yes, change. But in their own minds, the democracy was, look, the military have been chopping money. It's our turn to chop money, not repair the country. So no intention was like, let's fix the electricity. You will remember Luth. Do you know I used to pray to fall sick? Luth was so clean. They used to give us free drugs. Luth, the lift were working. Tell me the general hospital. Go to last week, Keja. The doctors have to work under so much pressure that they don't have electricity. Go to Ibadan. We read. These people read. They see people complain. So if they were good people, first, every person not be allowed to go to, should not be allowed to go for any medical treatment outside this country. Do you hear the president of France go to England for treatment, or America go to England for treatment? Stay. Let your doctors kill you. If you must die here. Repair the hospitals here. Then all your children go to the federal government schools. So then, you see, then you are forced as a government to make sure the system works.
People have always been asking, we talk too much in Nigeria. Every time we talk about the problems, what are the solutions? Some of the solutions, or majority of the solutions that could solve our problems, have been highlighted there by Femi Kuti. When the politicians start going to the hospitals that we attend as the masses, when they go to Luth, they go to Lasuth, they go to UCH, they go to Lautech, they go to UNTH in Enugu, they go to University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Their children also go to Ansarudin Girls Grammar School. They go to Isabatudin Girls Grammar School. Their children also go to Islamic High School. Their children go to Basharun High School. That is when we have a better nation. Not when the children of the masses attend Alegongo Primary School. Then the children of the rich is attending a very high-class school, even outside Nigeria. Not when the children of the masses are attending Army Day Secondary School. Then children of the elite are attending one big school outside Nigeria. We can never solve the problem. We can never solve any problem of Nigeria that way. So the day the rich men start doing the same, the children start going to the same school, we go to the same hospitals, and that is when Nigeria will be better. But for now, are we ready for such conversation? Only time will tell. But time ticking away. Politics of Melody 100.7 FM in the city of Ibadan here. Wike has been talking. What is Wike saying again this time? Wike has been talking. First, he's been talking about the coalition, saying they are just jokers. They don't even know what they are doing. Who are the coalition members? People who are tired of themselves and they are saying they are hungry? Shuke. That's what Wike is saying.
Talking about this one man taking part. AXA since 1999. have we won Yobe? Since 1999, have we won Yobe? No. So what is that you have corrected? What is that you are telling me? PDP has been sustained by the South-South. By the South-South. Now, yes, South-South mainly. Mainly the Southeast. Now, because of the kind of politics this leader, ask Emeka Yoda, I saw him there. What happened? Because somebody was not removed as secretary. He now left. So that's why the Nigerians are angry. This is their own private, personal thing that you could not contend with. It's a power struggle that somebody at maneuver you. You go and say, Nigerians are angry. Say that you have been defeated in that place. Don't push it to Nigerians. Let's take the issue of Nigeria very serious. Let us know the problem and focus on that and tackle the challenges. When they say, with Atiku, with Peter Obi, what do you mean by that? Or what about with me not being there? I mean, so you think they're stronger than me? Why not you say we cannot be there? Means that coalition has failed. Why was I able in PDP? Did that PDP governor, National Assembly, has an assembly? And they supported the APC president. No answer. So you should be, that's why they should be careful with people like us. It's people like us that people need. So let's start from my party, the last one. They are not saying I will not support that people. What's happened in the party? If I've seen people who have not been in power, who are supposed to make this angry Nigerians not to be angry, and they are saying that Nigerians are angry, the likelihood that you may listen to them. But how can you listen to somebody who has been in power, who has refused to make these Nigerians angry to be happy? It's not the one coming to say Nigerians are angry. If today I'm no longer in office, and then you hear me say Nigerians are angry, you should ask me, Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what happened? You cannot come here and tell me Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what did you do to change this anger of Nigerians to be happy?
Ezenwo Nyesom Wike there, the Minister of the FCT, former Governor of Rivers State, saying, if you say Nigerians are angry, and that's why you want to take over, Nigerians are not angry, it's you that is actually hungry. And before we wrap up this evening, time is taken away. You know, we started a little bit behind schedule because of the traffic on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Wike has a message for Atiku Abubakar.
In 2023, they said they will support one man whose business has been from 1999, I'm in this party. 2006, I'm in this party. 2014, I'm in this party. 2019, I'm in the other party. Now 2025, I'm in another coalition. The Born You Born coalition.
That's the question from Ezenwo Nyesom Wike to Atiku Abubakar. The Born You Born coalition. Sorry, I won't be able to take your calls. The time is really not on my side anymore. I know you want to react to the issue of the ADC crumbling in less than a week. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Yes, on the People's Assembly. I'm going to be bringing that to the People's Assembly tomorrow. What you make of the ADC crumbling in less than 1 week? What could be responsible for that? It's been Politics or Melody, where we speak politically right here. Don't miss this show for anything, because as we move forward, we have so many things we'll be doing. We're just getting started. Very soon you'll be having live interaction with politicians here. I decided not to be making it happen at this time for now. Not that we don't have them. We'll get to that point where we'll be having them live in the studio. Okay? In fact, a whole lot of them have even shown interest, even to come all the way outside Ibadan. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Thank you so much for being part of today's politics on the Melody. On Melody 100.7 FM. Remember, follow us on all socials. Melody 100.7 FM. On all socials, Melody 107 FM. Of course, for me as well, Pretty the Finest at Degoke. Let me have a breather now for an hour. I'll be back with my team on the cruise show very shortly at 6 p.m. On behalf of Daniel Adeyemi, Moses, Amos, and of course Marcus Fortune, as I keep on being yourself and keep listening to this radio station. God bless you. Good evening and keep being there. I'll be back very shortly in the next 1 hour. Keep your head up.